There's still 3 more sections.
Gosh, I can't handle this anymore. I say we just stop because we know what we know exactly what you're talking about.
The other 3 sections were called "We Could See More Guns on the Street."
We could. That wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing if it's by responsible people. Oh, wait, those don't exist according to CNN. They know so damn much. Gosh, every time I read a CNN article, all I can think of is how much bigger my brain sack is.
And then the other section was "Angry White Men Have Damaged Democracy."
I hope so.
Yeah.
Need a little bit of a shake-up.
And then the last section was "No More Lectures About Black Thugs."
Who's lecturing people about black thugs? Going to a school that's just lectures about black thugs.
Should we just read the last bit?
Because
this is pretty much just more of the same. It's more Rittenhouse this, George Floyd that, this thing this.
Rittenhouse so bad.
Mobs. Okay.
Rittenhouse is such a bad guy, such a bad kid. How could he murder all 40 of those black people? Did you ever see the video where Rittenhouse did it? He lined them up and he said, all right, this is it. Any last words? Nope. And they start shooting them up.
White male anger could prove to be one of the biggest roadblocks we face in building a successful multiracial democracy.
Who said that it can be multiracial, but there's nothing that said it had to be. You know, maybe a black guy or whatever, a Mexican guy, maybe they don't want to be in politics.
So I'm just going to combine the last 3 sections and just kind of read a few bits and pieces of them.
A few psalms.
Yeah, exactly. For "We Could See More Guns on the Streets."
We're sitting on the floor, by the way. My butt cheeks are flattened out. They're flat like a paper plate. Do your worst.
Okay. The comedian Trevor Noah reflected the sentiment in a
He's not a comedian. That man's never said anything funny in his whole life.
Okay, wait.
He's not a comedian. That's offensive.
Okay, wait. In the section of "We Could See More Guns on the Street," he really starts talking a lot about Rittenhouse. I'll just cut into this one part here where he says, "While prosecutors didn't show that Rittenhouse was angry that night,"
he probably was because he was white.
"There is a perception, fair or not, that he went to Kenosha for reasons more than simply maintaining public safety."
That's not true. There is no evidence that says anything other than he went there to maintain public safety.
Yeah.
The only reason he brought the guns is because he knew it was going to be dangerous. He didn't even intend on using the guns. It was just meant to be like, okay, I know things are going to be bad, so I'm going to bring some guns with too. Well, he didn't even bring the guns. They were already there. It's just such nonsense.
Oh, and I backed up.
He actually went there to kill. The guns were just there for self-defense.
The white men on trial in the Rittenhouse and Arbery cases both said they acted in self-defense. Consider the potential danger of other white men, or any person wielding a gun in public, feeling emboldened to use deadly force against even an unarmed person by evoking the logic in those defenses, said Eric Rubin, a Second Amendment expert.
They make it sound like he walked into somebody's neighborhood, he pointed a gun at him, the black guy tried to take the gun out of his hands, and Kyle Rittenhouse shot him. That's how they portray it.
In other words, their own decision to carry a gun became a justification to use it, lest it be wrested away from them. Rubin recently told the New York Times. Eric Rubin, the Second Amendment expert. That's what he said.
I'm a Second Amendment expert. I know for a fact that we shouldn't have it.
While prosecutors didn't show that Rittenhouse was angry, okay, we read that, the comedian Trevor Noah reflected the sentiment in a comment that became a meme. No one has ever thought, oh, it's my solemn duty to pick up a rifle and protect that TJ Maxx.
What?
I don't know.
What's
Trevor Noah's a moron.
Not even a comedian.
No.
What do you mean nobody's ever picked up a gun and I'm not going to defend myself with this. I'm going to go take this gun and kill people. Like, if he wanted to kill people with it, he would have been, like, aiming it before he shot it.
Here comes the fun part. He says, and finally, there's a growing fear that no one will be severely punished for the January 6th insurrection because most of the rioters were white.
Oh my gosh. I hope none of them get anything. All those January 6th people should all get set free, and they should all get some consolation money for wasting their time.
Oh, did you hear the shaman?
Yeah.
I think
he's getting like 40-something months or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't care how dumb that guy is. He doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, sentenced to 41 months in
Did you
prison.
see him? He walked around carrying a
They always say
American
for his
flag.
role in the Capitol riot, but I have yet to see a single media outlet describe what that role is.
Well, he was like a very visible person. That's a role. He stood out a bit. That's a role.
I still don't know what he did.
Remember, he shot those 4 black women
Oh yeah, I
on January
forgot.
6th.
Yeah, sorry.
Then he shot their children too with his AK-47 like weapon.
Okay, the second to last section. Just gonna skim through it, see if there's anything interesting. Has there ever been an angrier modern? They start talking about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump's not even the president.
White male anger has become one of the most potent political forces in contemporary America.
Oh,
that anger helped.
Stinks.
That anger helped a white man win the White House. Trump's rise to power is inconceivable without his ability to tap into white male anger and embody it.
Yeah, that's why Biden got most of the white votes. Trump lost because not enough white people voted for him.
And
well, I mean,
on
give
top
or
of that,
take.
is there an existing video of Trump truly angry? I'm
so mad. Punches a hole in a brick wall.
I've never
Tears his shirt off. He's
I've-
like, I don't care how much arthritis I have in my nipples. I'm showing them now because I'm mad. And I'm gonna turn your head off.
I've never.
Trump's like, listen. I'm sick of the fake news.
I have sincerely never
It
seen
never
Trump
happens.
like angry.
Like I've seen him
Ever.
where he's like, a horrible thing has happened. Like he gets like emotional.
He'll
But
like
not
start like
angry.
Isn't there a book called Rage or whatever? Trump Rage, Trump Angry. He is the angriest white man according to this guy. And I've never seen any footage of Trump being legitimately angry. It's one of the most bizarre fantasies.
Like yeah,
right?
he'd look at reporters and be like, "No, you're fake." But like that's not the same as him being like, "Get the hell out of here! I'm sick of your damn sloppy face."
I don't think those people.
I'm seething with white rage.
It doesn't happen. I've never seen Trump.
He's like
angry.
foaming at the mouth.
Has there ever been an angrier modern president? He is the white male.
Yeah,
ID
Joe Biden.
unleashed.
Joe Biden gets angry. We'll be like, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Joe-
I'm gonna tear your face off like a monkey. I'm gonna latch onto your hairy face. Remember your face. Where am I?
This white male anger is causing many people, including other white men, to look over their shoulder when they go out in public.
You're like, is there a white guy here?
That statement is based on absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you know how many white people look over their face because they're worried a white guy's gonna run up behind them and stab them with an AR-15 like weapon?
The 2 white men who were shot and killed by Kyle Rittenhouse, of course, in Wisconsin were white, and was the man he wounded.
But we wished they were black.
White male anger could prove to be one of the biggest roadblocks we face in building a successful multiracial democracy.
Nope.
He just goes on about history and stuff, and back in the 1898, I hate reading stuff about from the 1800s.
The only reason Kyle Rittenhouse shot those people was because of slavery.
He starts talking about the
Somehow.
Civil War, the KKK, and 1898 mobs where black people were killed. It's like, yes, that was awful, but this is over 120 years later. Get over it. None of us knew any of those people that were like a part of that horrible event.
The KK-47.
Yeah. The January 6th insurrection wasn't unprecedented. In many ways, it was a sequel. It's like, shut up. No more lectures about black thugs.
Yeah, please, no
This
more.
is the last part.
This is the only thing that's lecturing anybody about black thugs.
Yet no matter how obvious it becomes that the country has a problem with white male violence, most Americans will escape what black and brown men experience on a weekly basis. Not many drivers will lock their doors when white men approach at a spotlight. He's brought up the whole people locking their doors when black people walk by. But there's no like link to like us research or anything. It's just what this guy has to say.
Well, here's the thing. Another thing is like, okay, you're in a black neighborhood, and those neighborhoods a lot of times statistically have a lot of crime. It's like you're gonna probably have your door locked anyway.
Few women will clutch their purse when they pass a white man on the street.
I mean, you know what? I'll just say it. Black neighborhoods have more crime. Shape up. If you're a good person, you shouldn't even care if people clutch their purses when they walk by.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of decent guy is going to be like, let's say you're like some black guy, and you walk past the lady, and you notice her, like, kind of like hold on to her purse so you don't snatch it. Is your first thought going to be like, hey! It's like, then she'll probably start running, and you'll be like, why do they always run? What you do is if you're a black man and you pass by a woman, or you walk past somebody's car and they lock their door, what you do is you punch in their windshield and you go, it's because I'm black, isn't it? And then you rip their face off. If with your exceptional black man arms.
Yeah, I wish I had black man arms. So strong and meaty. Evoking the memory of Tamir Rice, the 12-year-old black boy who was killed in Cleveland by a police officer whose authorities said mistook his toy pistol for a real firearm.
It's not. That has nothing to do with all this other stuff, though.
Okay,
like, that's just like bring up a tragedy. That has nothing to do with Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, actually,
racism.
That's what the meme's going to talk about. Here, let's look at this meme. The meme quote says, Tamir Rice was 12 and killed for having a fake toy gun. Kyle Rittenhouse, 17, killed 2 people. Walked by police after killing 2 people. Got to go home and sleep.
Yeah, because he killed 2 criminals.
That meme is why it's hard for me to tolerate hearing another lecture about black thug culture or a black culture of violence.
My goodness.
Who even gives lectures like that? I've never heard of such a thing. And I'm on the internet looking at this sort of stuff a lot.
Yeah,
probably too much. I look at this sort of stuff way more than any average human being.
If you go to a school, you just listen in. All they do is talk about those black thugs. Go to a school, all the kids learn about is like the black thugs always killing them.
It says, my response to the white men who use these tired phrases, look in the mirror. And look
your
at these...
pasty skin, your pasty white greasy skin.
This is the last
Touch the mirror,
there.
You can't feel it because the skin's too white. It goes through time and space. It can't be reflected because it's so damn white. Like, sees a pair of lips floating there, your own dirty lips. You know why? Because your skin's too white to even be reflected.
Got scared. And look at these 3 trials. Because they point to one frightening future, this is what that future looks like. More angry white men emboldened by stand your ground and citizens arrest laws, inspired by a conservative interpretation of the Second Amendment. And more dead Americans. The end.
How about maybe less dead Americans? Because, the people that he shot, they were pretty dangerous.
Yes.
I don't want to judge anybody, but those guys weren't good dudes.
Like in a moral sense?
Like, why are they comparing those 2 guys to a 12-year-old?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, what's wrong with you? You sicko. It's like the 12-year-old that got shot. It's like, yeah, that's real comparable to these guys. My goodness. How can you be that dense? Oh, a guy shot some criminals during a riot, real comparable to a cop accidentally shooting a kid. Not even close.
No.
These CNN people are just messed up. I want to see them put on trial.
Yeah. One day CNN will get you on trial. I can't wait to be there.
Like, let's just give
we'll
CNN...
have Derek yell in your faces.
Let's just throw some CNN guys into a riot and give them some AR-15 like weapons. And let's just see how long they go before they have to use them to protect themselves.
Yeah.
No, they won't do it, Caleb. You know what they'll do? They'll set them on the ground and they'll say, sometimes you just got to take a beating.
Yeah. And then they think they're going to get punched when a protester has like a broken bottle right to the face.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
that's that.
Sayonara, Nick.